Today, we're going to take a look at Castagra's 10-pound patch and repair kit. It's 10 times the product of our 1-pounder. If you're familiar with our 50-pound kits, it is 1/5 of the product that goes into one of those. Unlike our 1-pounders that are pretty easy to mix on their own because they're light, you're going to want to have a few tools on hand. So we're going to want to have either a mechanical mixer or a stir stick. You're going to want a scraper. You have to open it, so you're going to want some scissors. And we're going to be dumping the contents after we've partially mixed them into a 1-pound bucket. And as always, anytime you're working with Ecodur, you're going to want a rag. So we're going to start pulling this out of its packaging bag. And then you will find instructions. Now we're going to go through these instructions one by one and make sure that we're all on the same page. So first, warm unmixed kits. So what are we talking about there? If you're in a wintry state and it's been sitting in your truck overnight, it's going to be very difficult to mix the castor oil and gypsum. Castor oil, like other oils, gets more viscous when it's cold. So you're going to want to get these to at least about 65 degrees. So sometimes that just means leaving them in the cab of your truck, letting them warm up, but you want to be able to manipulate this part A. So now we're going to mix part A well. So with the 1-pound kits, I usually just shake it really well. These 10-pounders are a little heavy and cumbersome. You can kind of try to shake them, but for the most part, it's going to be more of a kneading process. Just making sure that everything that's settled has been brought up. I'll go at it from both sides. Now we got to make sure gypsum loves to hide out in the corners, so we got to get those corners out. So here's where I will use either a rubber scraper or a stir stick. And I just want to get anything that's hanging out in the corners incorporated into the rest. Right now, well, I've got the chance because we have not added the part B yet, so we're not on the clock. The pot life is not ticking yet. So just get that stuff moving out of the corners. Get it as well incorporated as we can. Work that all the way around. I'm not going to worry too much here because we're going to break that seam in the next step. So we don't have to worry about that one. Alright, so that's pretty good. Now that we've gotten all that out of there, I want to make sure that it's well kneaded and mixed in again. Now, we're going to fold over the part A pouch, kind of like a tube of toothpaste. So I want to get as much out of here as I can as I make each fold. It's not necessary to be perfect at this stage, but, you know, be pretty good. So just like a tube of toothpaste, I'm going to fold that over. Now we're going to put pressure on this seam. That is a burst seam, so when we put pressure on, it will pop. Now we don't want to leave it unpopped on the sides or product may catch there, so we want to keep going until we've got that entire seam burst. Now we're going to take all of this and we are going to mix it up the best that we can within the pouch. I know this isn't going to be perfect, but that's why we have the bucket for a later step. So we're going to mix that real good there. But remember, there's unincorporated part A in the rest of these folds. So now we want to take this mix, and again with our scraper or our stir stick, we're going to push everything we can down into that part A pouch. Now, just like before, we're going to roll that up, get it into a more manageable space. Shake that real well. Now, that might be pretty good. I like to do one last step before I cut it. I want to put that all back toward the Part B pouch and push it one last time. Now we'll cut a corner and we'll see how well we mixed, pouring this into our 1 gallon bucket. This is actually pretty well mixed, but we're still going to use the drill mixer just to be sure. One thing you can never scrimp on is mixing properly with Ecodur. So now I'm just going to fold the pouch in on itself and get every last bit that I can out of there. Now, to make sure that we've mixed this properly, we're now just going to pull that in.
Now we're looking for uniform color and consistency. So when I first put this in, there were still a few little white streaks. We don't want that. We want it all to end up in this off-white color.
So now that it's fully mixed, we have about 30 minutes of working time. And if we wanted to, we could add in a thickener, other agents to change the properties, but that is how you mix the 10-pound Castagra Ecodur Patch and Repair Kit.